on a random Tuesday morning, RELL Games decided to upload this, RELL Seas Not Movie 3. Now, it's what the title says, it's not exactly Movie 3, but there is still 40 minutes worth of new content to go over. So I'm going to split this up into multiple little videos, and this one is going to be about underwater. Basically everything they showed regarding underwater, so submarines, fighting, ships, ship customization, all that stuff, that's going to be in this video. If you want any other topics, look on the screen now. I'll probably have the other videos up since I'm probably going to upload them all at the same time, and you can go to them instead. But this video, underwater progression. So let's just get straight into it. So let's just start off by talking about the movement underwater, right? So the swimming mechanics in this game seem very, very cool. Like, you know, it's not too slow, it doesn't feel restricting in any way. Like, you can see these guys moving around freely, like using all their dashes, their moves, albeit they are slower for obvious reasons, and you can land on the floor under the water, which not many games allow you to do, unless they just don't have swimming mechanics at all, like, for example, Blox Fruits. But this game actually looks like it's underwater, like realistically underwater. Not just, you know, there is an obstacle, but you can actually use it to your advantage. Because when you're underwater, you can attack people from all sides, which, you know, you wouldn't be able to do on ground. So perhaps somebody could be very good at underwater combat, but not good at ground combat, so they use that to their advantage by bringing people under. If that makes any sense at all. But yeah, for the majority of it, underwater combat seems the same in terms of combos, but getting those combos started seems much more freeing, if that makes sense. But yeah, as you can see, they have these little sections underwater they can use, like that right there. It just gives them a little speed boost, kind of like Dolphin's Grace from Minecraft. And then there's that air bubble that restores their oxygen level so they don't drown to death. You see that little bubble next to their head. And then on the right over here, you have a water current that you can just glide through, and it just takes you with them. So they did say they are going to have those water currents like all over the map, leading you to like places like hidden caves with like bosses and stuff. So that's going to be really interesting to see how they deal with that in the game, and how many and how they'll be over the ocean and how easy they are to see and stuff, because they do actually show later on the depths and how much darker it does get in those depths, but we'll get to that later. Oh, moving on from that, we do have submarines. Now, these things are really cool. They said that you'd get the submarine color bottles later in the progression system, so you won't start out with it like maybe you would with the ships. But, all in all, the submarines look super, super cool, especially from the inside. Now, as you can also see from the background footage, when you get close to the submarine, it's like you can walk on it, kind of like the seafloor. So, it has this little, like gravitational pull, kind of, which, of course, doesn't make much sense, but it's very convenient for, like, trying to board other people's submarines so you don't have to swim alongside them. And it does make sense, game mechanics-wise. So, yeah, you can see them go in and out of the submarine. It's really cool. It's like a little trapdoor. And then when they actually go to steal the machine is when it gets really good. So, I think right here. So, yeah, as you can see, they got these, like, little depth they got these little, like, depth monitors, a radar. I don't know if the radar does anything, but I do know that at the bottom left you got a speedometer there, and at the bottom right you got the health as well as a compass. Now, I'm not sure if any of you have noticed, but there is a compass at the top of the screen, and it doesn't seem like the one at the bottom right works. So, that's not very good, but, you know, it looks cool. And they got that little crosshair at the center, which I'm assuming they can just use to shoot people. Because if you look on the bottom left, there is a combat button. So you will be able to engage in combat in these submarines. And submarines aren't the only way to go underwater. They do say in this video, accidentally, that there are ships and ship coating methods that you could use to go underwater too. So this won't be the only way you can submerge underneath and perhaps get to underwater islands like Fishman Island or underwater caves. Now you can see from this section that there's a little underwater layer, and after you pass that layer, you go down and it gets much, much darker. And this is where you're going to encounter the bigger sea beasts and all of the good stuff that you're going to find in the ocean. Now, they did say that most of the underwater exploration will be in C4, so maybe there won't be anything down here in C1, 2, or 3, but they will most definitely still be sea beasts. Now, another cool feature that they've added to this game is that when you reach a certain depth, the submarine quite literally implodes like the Ocean Gate submarine. Now, they did actually say that in the movie, that is a quote from them. Now, as you can see, the submarine is blown up and they need to respawn. Now, as for some other things sea related, they did show a bunch of sneaks. Previous sub-sneaks that we weren't allowed to show, but now it's okay to show because they've shown it to the public. Now, among the sneaks are sea beasts and ship mechanics. So I would like to go over both of those things right now by firstly showing off the sea beasts. Now, what they've done with the sea beasts is actually like very, very cool. So each major sea beast has its own corresponding weapon set as well as armor set. So they've only shown a few so far, but I'm gonna try to go over the ones they have shown and made public. So first of all, we got this cow leviathan. Now this thing looks kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. But from this, we can make all of these weapons, which I believe includes a dagger, a chakram, a sword, and a crossbow, which I think is very cool. Specifically the crossbow bit, because I wonder how that's going to work in game. We've seen guns, but not necessarily a crossbow. It might be some kind of like sniper variant and work the same way as one of those, like a single loaded sniper. But once again, we haven't seen one of those either, so it's going to be very, very interesting when they actually show how this kind of thing works. Now, directly following that, we have the Cow Leviathan armor set, which also looks very cool because, not only because, you know, it's a cow armor set, but because this means that there's probably an armor set for each individual sea beast too, which is probably why they spent so long working on armors and repainting them or whatever they kept saying in subscriber announcements. So I'm just gonna quickly show all of the little sea beasts with their corresponding weapon sets or armor sets on the screen really quick, just so you guys can get an idea of what they look like and how cool they are. Personally, I like this little like green sea serpent thing with all of its weapons. The weapons aren't as well textured as the others because I'm assuming it's not done, but they do look very cool. Now, while on this topic, we do have another sneak of an underwater city, it appears to be. Okay, I sound like a nerd right there, what the flip? What looks to be an underwater city. So, this is pretty cool. They said it'd be in C4, and yeah, just take a look at it, dude. It's like there's sea lanterns everywhere, it's pretty sick. And other than that, we also have the first fisherman revealed to be in the game. So this actually comes from a sneak with like all the Teslas stood up. It's not exactly a sub sneak, this is a public sneak, but I just haven't gone over yet. And if you look at this image, you'll see at the top, there is a blue fisherman right there. And that's me! And that's me! Sorry. yeah, so that fisherman right there, that's freaking me, dude. I'm the freaking fisherman. Yeah, that's me. Sorry, I'm just jumping over everyone, it gets me like really excited. But yeah, that's pretty cool. We also got different ship customization options shown in the sneaks, like this battering ram. We got two different variations of that. We got this little spike ram, and then we got this huge like arching ram. So I think both of those are really, really cool. But yeah, I think that's about all I need to go over this video. Let me know if I missed something in the comments. I'll add it to one of my next videos, because I actually have a reason to make videos again. Because, you know, they dropped a whole load of information I'm allowed to share now. So, yeah. Alright, subscribe. Bye, subscribe. Bye.